Hello there. Welcome to the 83rd episode of Split Focus, a film and TV podcast. My name is Simon Eady, and alongside me, I have my co-host and a funny but romantic man, Adrian Pinter. How does it go, sir?
General Kenobi. It goes quite well, Simon Eady. How art thou, dude? How are you?
I'm okay, man. I'm all right.
Oh.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Damn, dude.
What's been happening with you?
Ooh. Not much, dude. It's been, back at work, just working away.
No more vacation, Adrian.
No more vacation. That's what you should have said.
Yeah, that's what I said.
No, you said vacation, Adrian.
That's what I said.
Whatever, doesn't matter. Let's move along. But yeah, just been chilling, man. Just been chilling. I made some pasta the other day, some shrimp Alfredo, Simon.
Wow.
Nice Alfredo sauce from scratch. Made some focaccia bread as well.
Wow.
Turned out quite well, yeah.
That's exciting.
I just made it after work.
Cool.
Got off early enough. Prepped the focaccia bread the night before. Baked it the next day when I got home from work while I was getting the shrimp Alfredo ready. You know how it is.
Yeah. Yes. You know who also made some incredible focaccia bread?
Who?
This week. He didn't, or maybe he did, but James Gunn. Yes, the most smooth segue you've ever seen, audience.
It's the greatest.
No, James Gunn made an incredible episode of Peacemaker that released this week, I would say. But what he was talking to Deadline's Hero Nation podcast about this week was Guardians of the Galaxy 3.
What?
Did you hear about that at all?
I did hear a little bit about it. Yeah, Simon.
Then why did you say what? That doesn't make any sense. Get your story straight. Okay, Adrian?
I don't want to.
Okay, that's fair. Anyways, he was talking about Guardians of the Galaxy 3 as the last time we're gonna see this team together. This team of Star-Lord, Gamora, Drax, and Groot and Rocket. Isn't that crazy? I did not see that coming. For some reason, I thought that was not the case, and that not necessarily that there was going to be a Guardians 4, but that at least we would see these characters together still. So maybe it's just one character going to die. Is that maybe what he's alluding to? Or maybe they're all splitting up. I don't know. I don't know.
I think what he's alluding to is that maybe, like some characters are going to die. Now, like, to be fair, at the end of Endgame, like they're on the search for Gamora. So technically Gamora's not even with them. I'm sure she will be. But
she is. Isn't she?
No, not at the end of Endgame. Aren't they going to look for her? Because she just pieces out. Pretty sure she just pieces out. Yeah.
Man, I can't remember that. Damn.
Yeah, she pieces out because it's not like their Gamora, because their Gamora's dead. It's a Gamora from a different timeline. Anyways, not important. So they're on like the search for that. That's kind of how that movie ends with the Guardians, and we got Thor with them and stuff like that. But Dave Bautista has already come out and said that I think Guardians of the Galaxy 3 would be his last one, if I recall correctly. I feel like we even talked about this on the show like last year. Maybe not.
We did, but it doesn't. Yeah. It feels like this is like a more deep split based on how he's describing it. He says in a quote to Hero Nation, "It's big. It's so big and dark and different from what people might be expecting it to be."
That's what she said.
Well done. "I just want to be true to the characters, the story, and give people the wrap up that they deserve for the story. That's always a bit scary. I'm doing my best. I'm aware that the third film in most trilogies sucks. Not always." I can think of many that don't suck. But anyway.
I can think of one that does suck, Simon.
Yeah, what's that?
Rise of Skywalker. Rise of Skywalker, bad movie.
Oh!
Bad movie!
Yes.
Anyways.
Yeah. Well, actually, I feel like the other, like Return of the Jedi and Revenge of the Sith don't suck, though, in contrast.
No, definitely not. I like both those movies.
Yeah, so there you go. But anyways, yeah. I feel like as sequels go on, they get a little bit long in the tooth. Although I have a lot of hope for Colin Trevorrow's Jurassic World 3.
Me too.
Jurassic World Dominion. So
yeah,
I don't know.
God, I can't wait.
Not that I really love those movies, but I feel like it's going to be better than the second one, which felt like it was almost like too much of a mishmash of genres for my taste.
That's fair. I really like that movie.
But yeah. I am very excited, obviously, as you probably are, for Guardians of the Galaxy 3. I'm curious what James Gunn does. I feel like James Gunn is like just completely in his element lately. And man, Peacemaker, episode after episode is just kind of hitting it out of the park, honestly. Like this last episode, there's like these heartfelt scenes, these heartfelt moments amongst the action that just works so well. And he's always balancing this line so well. It's crazy.
Yeah.
It's good. The raunch and the heartfeltedness.
I agree. And yeah, like I feel like, yeah, he's at his best with like Peacemaker right now because he can go, like he can double down on the raunchiness, but also make it heartfelt. And he just really knows how to make a really great ensemble cast. Like this cast of characters that shouldn't really get along that, you know, slowly start to get along and become a family of some sort. And that's kind of what he's doing with Peacemaker. And he did that with, you know, the first Guardians movie.
And the Suicide Squad.
The Suicide Squad as well. Like
misfits.
Yeah, he's just
misfits. There's a theme of misfits in his films, and
yeah, exactly.
It shows.
But I'm very excited for Guardians of the Galaxy 3. I think that's next year, if I recall correctly. I'm just going off the top of my head, but 2023 sounds right.
There's no official news yet, but there's like he's been hinting at the concept that he's making another DC show as another spin-off of the Suicide Squad.
Oh,
so that's interesting too. Like not Peacemaker, but something else spun off. So one of the characters potentially. I'm curious what that's going to be too.
They just do like a vigilante series. I would watch the shit out of that.
Peacemaker is like incredibly popular for HBO Max. Like it's just incredibly well received, which is fantastic. Not only on a critical perspective, like critics love it, but the audience seems to just keep flocking to it, which I'm so happy for because I know that the Suicide Squad didn't do particularly well in theaters. It did release in a time, I think, when theaters were just kind of reopening again, at least over here in Canada.
Yeah.
After another stint of lockdown. So it's at least in Ontario. But yeah, it's great. I'm just happy that and this is getting the love it deserves.
Yeah, definitely. And like we've said before, like R-rated movies just regularly don't do too well in theaters more often than not. And then on top of that, it was released on HBO Max at the same time.
Right.
So
it might have done a lot better on HBO Max. I don't know if the numbers were released for that necessarily. But that's what we talked about a couple weeks ago, is that it's strange that R-rated shows just seem to be so well received. Like there's like huge audience for it in the home, but I guess that same audience doesn't want to travel to theaters.
Yeah.
So it's interesting.
One. But I don't know, apologies to Ken for talking about video games, but I actually just beat like the Guardians of the Galaxy game that was released on like PC and consoles and stuff. And I really love that game. And it's interesting because this is like a new take on the Guardians while, you know, like still kind of keeping that vibe of the movies with like just really great music and stuff like that. And, you know, like you have like this cast of characters that, you know, again, they're a ragtag group. They're always at each other's throats, but at the same time, they're a family. And I don't know, like it kind of made me think that like I love those Guardians movies. And like I love spending time with those characters, and that's where I learned of those characters. But like after playing this Guardians game, I almost prefer the group of Guardians I get from that video game. Now, to be fair, that's like me hanging out with these characters for like 20 hours almost, as opposed to watching, you know, like 2-hour long movies, give or take a bit. But
yeah, I think that's the bias. But yeah.
But I don't know. I can't.
So Ken, get on that. You know, you're a Marvel fan, Ken. So play the Guardians of the Galaxy game from Square Enix.
Eidos Montreal, made from a Canadian game developer, which is pretty cool.
It's pronounced Eidos.
Eidos Montreal.
We said it three times and 3 times differently.
Yeah,
great,
good stuff. But yeah.
But yeah, I think that's where the bias is from. You get really attached. Like after I just finished a very cinematic game in Detroit, actually the Guardians of the Galaxy game is very cinematic as well. But Detroit Become Human, I played it like 3 times.
That's so good.
And that game is incredibly cinematic. And you got Clancy Brown in that, and many other great actors like Jesse Williams, Minka Kelly, and it's just like a combo of just really awesome cinematics, and I kind of just feel kind of empty because I know I'm not going to go back to it anymore. It's done.
You got the platinum?
I did, and that's 10 hours at least on one playthrough, which is again a lot longer than you spend on a movie at least. So it would almost have been nice to have a Guardians of the Galaxy series actually in reality, just because Disney's doing that. But I don't know, man. Like think about again, I don't want to beat a dead horse too much here, but if you think about the concept of what Disney's been doing, all of their shows, or most of them at least, have been kind of releasing about 6 episodes.
Yeah.
You
I think WandaVision is the only exception to that so far.
Wasn't one of them 7? Wasn't Loki 7 episodes?
You might be right. I can look that up.
I just feel like the Peacemaker character building has been more solid. That's what I'm kind of feeling again versus the other shows from Disney. Obviously, 2 very different properties competing with each other with DC versus Marvel. But it's interesting. Like I just think that the character development has been pretty solid. And the way it's spun off the Suicide Squad is it's done so well. I don't know. Curious. Again, I'm curious what Disney's going to pull out of their hat with Moon Knight and their various other series as we go forward, but I guess we're going to have to wait and see. But bottom line, I appreciate that this Peacemaker series seems to be taking its time with the plot line, and it is 8 episodes, so I feel like that helps.
So Loki was 6 episodes. WandaVision was 9.
Oh.
Captain... What is it called? Falcon and the Winter...
That was 6.
Captain Falcon and the Winter Man, or whatever it's called. That was also 6. And then... actually, What If? I guess if we can't What If, that was 9 episodes too. So
I don't count What If.
Okay, wow.
But yeah, it's just not a live action show.
Yeah.
And that's not really in the MCU. It is, but it isn't. Like it is, but like there's like, that's like, who knows what universes it's covering and whether we'll ever see those or a lot of those in the live action.
Well, we know for a fact we're going to see one of them. Well, we can speculate. The evil Doctor Strange.
We can speculate, yeah. But and what my question I think is, what is Sam Raimi picking and choosing in terms of what he's going to use from that dark Doctor Strange? Because I don't think it's going to be the same. He's going to do his own thing with it.
Yeah,
I'd imagine they're going to give background for that and create it, like spin it kind of their own way.
Yeah,
but I'm interested to see. I kind of almost thinking of it almost like, how I don't know much about the Star Wars extended universe, but I feel like the way that they used even Ahsoka. Like, I feel like they're going to explain Ahsoka pretty well in her spin-off series, that you don't necessarily need to watch Clone Wars to definitely understand it. Mm-hmm. And I feel like this, I don't know if that's that connected, because I know that it's canon, the Clone Wars TV series, the animated TV series, but
yeah,
I guess we're going to find out how closely they're connected as we go forward with the Ahsoka series and with Doctor Strange, because Doctor Strange is pretty close. Honestly, it's not that far away.
It's May? No.
The Doctor Strange in the multiverse of madness. Is it May or April? Yeah, I think it's May. You're right.
Yeah.
Got pushed to 2 whole months because you're afraid of the Batman.
I'd be too.
That's speculation by us, but guess we'll find out.
I guess we will.
All right, Adrian. We talked about Kenneth Stadelbauer just moments ago, and he is, as usual. Wait, he is as usual. Why did I say it like that? He wrote into us.
He is as usual.
A great man indeed. No, he wrote into us as usual. So let's reach into the mailbag for a moment here, shall we? We ask our listeners to write into us with comments, questions, and corrections by way of Twitter or by email to splitfocuspodcast@gmail.com. And longtime remote guest star Kenneth Stadelbauer wrote into us, and he said, "Dudes,
hey dude,
I share in Adrian's excitement for a Godzilla series, and am in agreement that Godzilla vs. Kong wasn't as exciting as it should have been. The humans in the movie were, for the most part, unnecessary. Simply showing what was happening would have sufficed without having the characters having to explain the obvious. They should have kept the sex scene. Godzilla was the big spoon. But I understand that they wouldn't have wanted to seem too woke."
Yeah, that's fair. Totally get it.
Wait, what?
Because that LGBT, they're pushing the LGBTQ stuff with Godzilla banging Kong. Well, wait, isn't Godzilla a woman in this one?
Isn't he kind of saying the opposite?
Yeah. No, Godzilla's the big spoon. So he's holding on to Kong from the behind. But I feel like isn't...
Yeah, but he's saying the sex scene would have made them too woke.
Yeah.
But wouldn't it have been the opposite?
Making it less woke?
There's no sex scene in the movie.
Yeah.
Did you watch the movie?
They should have kept the sex scene, but I understand that they wouldn't have wanted to seem too woke. So if they kept the sex scene in the movie, they would have seemed too woke. Is what he's saying.
Oh, they wouldn't have wanted to. Oh, sorry. Yeah. English is my second language.
No, it's not.
After grunting. Anyways. Also, hey, don't be mean. Also, Kong deserved one use of motherfucker when he was about to be blasted with Godzilla's radioactive breath. I'm hoping the series can capture some of the insanity of the old Marvel Comics Godzilla run, with Monarch replacing S.H.I.E.L.D. as the government agency tracking everyone's favorite scaly hero. In that series, Godzilla spent time shrunk to the size of a rat, sent back in time, and fought giant mecha, the Shogun warriors. There is plenty of room for insanity when dealing with such a fantastic character. Side note, I highly recommend Hitmonkey on Disney+. Some interesting character building as well as humor. It is actually part of the MCU, so you do get a couple of comic book characters crossing over, and I expect some superhero interactions if a second season is made. Signed, Kenneth, writing from my own pocket of reality, and he's got a quote here as usual, and it says, "Sometimes I think this is Godzilla's world. We just live in it." A quote by Chief Warrant Officer Barnes from Godzilla, King of the Monsters.
Yeah. So I just looked it up real quick. In Godzilla, King of the Monsters, I think they say that Godzilla...
There was a sex scene.
No, that Godzilla's a dude. So yeah, that's what they say.
I see.
Ken Watanabe's character says that, apparently. Now, how sure am I of this? This is from https //ca.style.yahoo.com, which is a very reliable website, I imagine. So, yeah.
Huh. Thank you for that background research.
No worries, man. That's what I'm here for. Doing research on the spot. But yeah. Anyways.
I will say it again, as I said it many times, and I will not go into a spiel about the whole situation, but I will say Godzilla vs. Kong is not a good movie because of the fact that there's less character development, not because there's less action. I will say that repeatedly.
How about
it did not lack action. It lacked sense.
Let's make it
logic.
Let's say it's a bad movie for both at the very least. You know, it's a bad movie for both. Just give it to me. You know, wasn't it a like 2.5 hour movie? Yeah, not enough action is what I'm saying. There should have been more.
So you want it to be a 3-hour movie?
No, I wanted there to be more variety of action, like in Godzilla King of the Monsters, where there's like 8 monsters just fucking each other up. This one, there's like 3. It's like, eh.
But it's about Godzilla versus Kong.
Yeah, I know, Simon. But even in Batman v Superman, we got Doomsday and Wonder Woman. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, people don't love that movie.
Well, they're wrong.
People like Godzilla versus Kong.
They're wrong.
I feel like there's something up there. Yeah. But anyway, yeah. All right.
We got Bruce Wayne and Clark Kent. Ah! You know, that's Jesse Eisenberg right there as Lex Luthor.
Wow.
Great portrayal by him. Again, I know we said that, I think, last week, but I really like Jesse Eisenberg in that movie. Yeah, I want to watch this Hitmonkey show. It's funny that Ken mentions this because literally like a month or two ago, I remembered that this show came out. I think I said movie earlier, but I remember that this show came out, and I was like, oh, like I kind of want to watch this. And I checked Disney Plus, and it wasn't on Disney Plus. And then I think Ken wrote to me this past week, and he's like, hey, Hitmonkey's on Disney Plus. You should watch it. I was like, ooh, I might want to watch this. It seems fun. Like it looks, the trailer looks pretty interesting. It seems like an R-rated sort of like cartoon show that I guess is set in apparently the MCU, but just, you know, like in a Marvel universe or whatever. So I don't know. I'm kind of interested in watching this. It just seems like a good romp, like easy bite-sized food. You know what I mean?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. Do you have any interest in seeing this? Have you seen the trailer? Because I watched this trailer a while back.
I have not.
Oh.
I don't recall. Maybe I have and I forgot, but I don't believe so.
Looks good. Looks fun. But yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I don't know. That's one of those shows as well, like, because I think it aired on Hulu. So it's like one of those Hulu original series. So I'm curious if they're going to continue making that show. Because it's, I think, on Star on Disney Plus. I could be wrong.
Sorry, why wouldn't they continue to make it?
Because didn't they cancel a bunch of those Hulu Marvel shows, or am I making that up? Because I remember there was one that actually no, they made MODOK. What? So yeah, maybe I'm wrong. But
I don't recall. And they wouldn't just cancel them now.
Oh, there was a Howard the Duck. Wasn't there like a Howard the Duck series that they were going to make and shit like that?
Aren't they still making that?
You might be right.
I don't recall them canceling anything. It's not like they just bought Hulu. They've owned it for years.
Yeah, you're right. Anyways, Hitmonkey is a Star show, by the way. So
Star.
So R-rated. Yeah.
Which is Disney Plus.
Yeah, exactly. But anyways, on the topic of watching something, Simon, what have you been watching?
Hold on, Adrian. Let's not be rude. Kenneth Stadelbauer, thank you again for writing into us. You champion.
You are.
Champion writer-inner.
You are amazing.
Anyways, what did I watch? Adrian, what did I watch? I watched the TV series called Afterparty on Apple TV Plus. I only watched one episode. There were 3 released on January 28th.
Oh.
Afterparty. Adrian, do you know what that is?
Yeah, isn't it like some sort of murder mystery? It's like a bunch of actors together. I know Tiffany Haddish is in it. They're in this house, and then someone gets murdered, and they're like, who murdered this person?
Yeah. The actors don't play themselves, though. They play characters.
Oh, okay.
But it initially follows in the first episode Sam Richardson.
Oh.
This is a show with a crazy cast, as you just kind of alluded to. Like Tiffany Haddish is in it, Sam Richardson, Ben Schwartz is in it as well. You got Dave Franco. It's a pretty stacked cast, and it's a show by Sony, and specifically directed by, and many episodes are written by, Christopher Miller of Lord and Miller Team Up.
Oh my science.
Phil Lord did not contribute too much. I think he wrote one of the episodes, but every episode is directed by Christopher Lord. What am I talking about? Christopher Miller.
Oh, okay.
So, which is pretty cool, if you ask me. Lord and Miller, of course, being the directors for 21 and 22 Jump Street. Stacked cast. Hilarious first episode. I'm a fan. I'm going to watch this and enjoy it because I've very much enjoyed the first episode. Tiffany Haddish's detective character is quite ridiculous. And I feel like everything Sam Richardson is in is been, again, he's just been solid in it. Mm-hmm. Whether it's not the greatest thing or it is a fantastic thing, it doesn't matter really. Like Tomorrow War, I think he's the best part of Tomorrow War.
Yeah.
In my opinion, I feel like he did a very good job in that werewolf movie.
Werewolves Within.
Werewolves Within. And then there's this with the stacked cast and the cool concept of this murder mystery. Basically, all these people are brought together for a high school reunion.
Oh.
And after the high school reunion, they go to an, wait for it, after party.
What?
Yeah. And at this after party, Adrian, somebody gets murdered.
Oh.
But the question is, how did they get murdered? How? So you got all these
murdered them?
crazy, interesting cast of characters, and the idea is how and who and why did they murder this individual? I'm not going to say who gets murdered. I don't know if that's in the trailer. I can't remember, but I don't want to spoil anything. Yeah. And you can watch this show on Apple TV Plus to find out, or watch the trailer because maybe it reveals it there. I'm not sure. But anyways, regardless, it is pretty great because the first episode, and I think each episode going forward, Sam Richardson plays a character by the name of Anik, and they actually follow the story as Tiffany Haddish, I think, interviews each character. They follow the story from their eyes. So how they viewed the night based on the movie that plays through their head, because they're the person who is the arbiter of their own story. I think therefore I am. They are the center of their own universe. Mm-hmm. They are the individual who has potential storyline that moves forward based on them being the main character. I think, do you get it?
I think so.
Okay, cool. Because I was going to keep going, but Adrian, you never really said I get it. So I was just gonna.
I was like,
keep describing it.
I was making those notes.
Yeah. Anyways, so my point is, the first episode follows Anik's story, and he's got a very slanted view on it. But they initially introduce it where Tiffany Haddish asks somebody else, and they tell their story, and it's like this weird indie noir film that's playing out.
Okay.
And that's her side of what the events were. And like each person's personality is so different that apparently the next episode I'm about to watch is like an action movie type perspective. So I'm like, oh wow, this is going to be great. There's nothing for me to complain about in this series. I think it's a very creative premise of trying to see this, the story from multiple eyes. Mm-hmm. It kind of feels a little bit in some way like 13 Reasons Why almost, in that kind of perspective of like trying to unlock these various perspectives.
Yeah.
Before we get to the actual murderer.
Well, that's cool. Yeah, I remember watching the trailer for this. I don't remember if they show who gets murdered or anything like that. But like it is something that was definitely on my radar. I didn't realize it just launched.
Yeah, it surprise launched for me too. I was completely shocked. I was like, oh man, this is because we were talking up some of these Apple TV Plus shows like
Severance.
We talked recently about Severance. Yeah. And so we were very excited for Severance with starring Christopher Walken.
Adam Scott.
Adam Scott as well. That was actually a funny thing. I don't know if you saw this trailer, but Apple TV Plus, Apple released this trailer with John Hamm. And it's like in the trailer, basically, it's for Apple TV Plus to promote all the shows that are coming out. And the tagline of this video is Apple TV Plus, everything but John Hamm. And it's just John Hamm going off about how he's the only one not cast in an Apple TV Plus show when there's like literally every star you've ever heard of. You got Uma Thurman to like, again, Christopher Walken.
Sam Neill. Like...
Yeah, you got Sam Neill in a show. You got Jason Sudeikis. I could go on, but I feel like I just also named like multiple stars for Afterparty. Tiffany Haddish. You got Sam Richardson.
You got Ike Barinholtz or whatever, however you pronounce it.
Channing Tatum.
What?
Nick Forte. Nick Forte? Did I just
Will
butcher that guy's name?
Isn't it Will Forte?
Will Forte. Who the hell is Nick Forte?
It's his brother, actually.
Nicholas Forte, yes. Yeah, it's definitely Will Forte. Don't know Nick Forte. Don't even know what I'm talking about. But anyways, yeah. Were you going to ask me a question just there? Sorry, I heard a little...
If I was, I forgot. So...
Okay, cool. Cool, man. Anyways.
So Nick Apollo Forte was an American musician and actor. He was born on June 14th, 1938, and died February 26th, 2020.
Never met the man. Don't know who he is.
Me neither.
Will Forte, on the other hand... I also haven't met, but anyway.
But you know of him.
I know who he is. Yeah, I do. Adrian, what did you watch this week? I've talked too long about, plots and how they follow a certain perspective through the eyes of the beholder. Mm-hmm. But I would like you to tell me now, what have you watched this week, Adrian?
Well, Simon, I'll tell you, but actually real quick, I want to ask you a question. Did you finish White Lotus? And how was it?
Oh, shit. Yes, I did. Oh. White Lotus was fantastic. It ended pretty well. I enjoyed it.
Okay, cool. Should I
it was satisfying.
Do you still recommend it?
Yeah, I already told you last week.
Yeah, but then you're like, I'm going to follow up with you next week let you know how it ends.
Yeah, like if you imagine like a bar, like a loading bar. I was 95% sure this was an amazing show and that was going to end very favorably, just because I feel like Mike White knows what he's doing. So the creator and director, and you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I know what you're saying.
Anyways, it was very good. I enjoyed the end. The music was amazing. The cinematography was fantastic. It's a pretty awesome show, and I can see why they're making a second season, despite this seemingly being a miniseries. So the next season's taking place somewhere else, apparently.
Interesting.
Very exciting, Adrian. So if you watch it, let me know on this podcast, because that's the only place we talk, because we don't talk outside this podcast.
Never have, never will.
Whether you enjoyed it.
I will, maybe.
If you don't mind.
If I watch it.
But Adrian, what did you watch this week?
Simon Dennis Eady. Let me tell you what I watched this week.
Don't tell them my middle name. How dare you?
Simon Marco Eady. Let me tell you something.
Oh, no, damn it.
Simon Charles Eady. Let me tell you something.
I see. You're muddying the waters. Smart.
Simon Dick Eady. Simon.
I know what you're doing. Don't do it. Don't you dare.
Simon Richard Eady. Anyways.
Okay, you went backwards. You made it more PG.
Yeah.
I appreciate that.
No worries. No worries, man. Anytime.
They're going to call me a penis again.
I was tempted, but then you called me out on it. I was like, I can't do that.
Okay.
I can't fall into the trap that you laid out for me.
Yeah, it's too easy.
Like a little mouse.
It's too easy.
Like a little mouse trying to get his cheese, Simon. That's what I was like right there. But I watched a movie this week, Simon. I've watched a movie.
And
that movie is the Mortal Kombat movie. Kombat spelt with a K. Spelled wrong. Believe it or not.
It is. It is spelled wrong. I've always thought that.
Yeah.
It's always bothered me deep down.
And one thing I like about this movie is that they actually acknowledge it. There's like literally a line in the movie where they're like, hey, that's spelled wrong. They spelled this wrong. And I was like, that's funny. But this movie is really fun. I really like this movie. I'm not a huge Mortal Kombat fan. Mortal Kombat's like this video game franchise that I'm sure most people, if not everyone, knows about it, that released like back in the, I want to say early 90s, maybe even the 80s. That is just like a hyper violent like fighting game. You know, they have these things called like fatalities where people like rip out people's spines from their bodies or tear out their hearts and stuff. And, you know, it was like, a big thing on the news back in the day when I was born, probably. I don't really know. And you know how like, oh, this is such a bad thing. There's so much blood and gore. But anyways, I don't know much about like the story of Mortal Kombat, but apparently there is a consistent one that they tell in these games. And I don't know how true this movie is to that story, but I know that some of these characters in the movie are from the game directly, obviously. And it seems like whoever made this movie had a lot of love for the franchise and just wanted to make something fun and over the top and hyper violent. And I really enjoyed it. I think this is a goddamn fun movie. It's on Crave here in Canada. So maybe it's on like HBO Max in the United States of America or wherever else. But the movie itself just kind of follows this guy who I think is an original character that is like a descendant of, you know, one of the Mortal Kombat characters, like Scorpion or whatever the hell. And you know, he's just like living his life, and he has this like sort of like symbol that he always thought was a birthmark, and it's like that dragon, you know, which is literally like the logo for Mortal Kombat, like those Mortal Kombat games and stuff like that. He's like, this is a birthmark, and he's like some sort of fighter. And long story short, the premise of the movie is like there's two realms or multiple realms, and every, you know, few years or every few like millennia, I don't fucking know. They have this like crazy tournament called Mortal Kombat, where people from different realms get selected. They get brought into like this tournament. They have to fight to the death, and then whoever wins, I guess just wins, and that's really it. But if the one realm wins 10 times in a row, they get, I guess, the rights to the other realm. So Earth being the realm that was losing,
and then they can make a movie about that realm.
Exactly.
Is that what you mean,
Simon? Yeah, they're gonna make a movie.
They get the rights,
and
they get the life rights.
Exactly, the life rights, and they also own the entire Earth, and they can come over and like I guess enslave all human beings. Yeah.
Oh shit, that's way worse. That's not what I thought you meant.
It's significantly worse, I imagine, Simon. But you know, like the movie like kind of starts off. There's a bunch of different characters that I imagine are in the game, and it's like, oh yeah, like Earth has lost 9 times in a row, and if we lose one more time, the other realm people are gonna take over. And instead of waiting for the tournament to happen, the other realm people are like, you know what? Like, don't even worry about it. We're just gonna go to Earth, and we're gonna kill the combatants prior to this tournament even happening, so that way we can just own Earth. And you know, they come to Earth and they start killing people, and it's very grotesque violence and stuff like that. But all in all, it's a fun time, and you know, it kind of sets up you know, more things to come, which I hope they do, Simon Eady. And yeah, I don't know if you're into like hyper violent movies that are quite self-aware and you know, like they don't shy away from that campiness, and you know, like characters literally even say like flawless victory or like fatality and shit like that. It's a good watch. It's not brilliant by any means. Like, I don't think the writing is particularly fantastic, and I think some of the characters' motivations are a little bit muddied. But at the end of the day, I think this movie is just like a fun time where people just get brutally murdered in some crazy ways. There's a character that gets chopped in half from like the top down from a hat that spins very fast, and I was like, this is sick. And you know, they like rip out a heart.
And
from
you puked.
I didn't.
And you puked in a bucket.
No.
Like, this is sick.
No.
Right? No?
No, but one of the characters do, I think. Or maybe not. Maybe I made that up.
Why did you saying it's sick?
Because it's
confused.
It's sick. It's it's like a way to describe. It's cool, man.
It was cold?
Not like cool as in like the temperatures.
It was
a little
cold?
cold. I knew you were going to do that, you son of a gun. I knew you were going to do that.
This is the kind of comedy you're in for, audience. Welcome.
Premium.
Welcome to Split Focus, a film and TV podcast.
Yeah, you said that at the beginning like 35 minutes ago. So
the funniest podcast you'll ever hear.
Definitely. We're also the #2 podcast in New Zealand, friendly reminder.
The director, by the way, because you're like, whoever made this movie, as if we're like, you know, on a film and TV podcast. They're like, whoever made this movie did a good job. His name was Simon McQuad.
Oh, of course you'd remember that.
Yeah, I guess his name is Simon. Mm-hmm. Is that what you mean?
Yeah.
Because my name is also Simon?
Exactly. You only have to technically remember half.
Simon Marcus Eady.
Simon Charleston Eady.
I'm protecting my identity by muddying the middle name. It's very important.
Simon Kenneth Eady.
I've been Kenneth Stadelbauer the whole time.
Oh my God, what a twist. Simon Mortal Kombat Eady.
Imagine. You know what's funny?
No.
I bet there's people who listen to this podcast and that might think that we do write in as Kenneth Stadelbauer, because we do make some weird things up. I'm not going to say what's a lie and what's true, audience, but sometimes we make things up.
I've literally never made a single thing up in my life.
Ever. Not once.
Not once.
I'm not talking about the facts about movies and TV. We're very clear on those. We're talking about the lore of Split Focus, the film and TV podcast. Sometimes it's a little muddied, but Kenneth Stadelbauer is a real man, just so you're aware out there, audience, just in case you didn't believe us.
He's a real boy.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
I love you, Ken.
Yeah.
Ken looks so cute when he sleeps, honestly.
Are you in his walls?
Yep.
Callback to episode 75.
There's like multiple
Adrian
episodes.
said that he's in his walls. I think that was the first one, wasn't it? Wasn't it like around the 73 to 75 mark when you said that you're in my walls?
Possibly. That seems totally plausible.
What is Kenneth Stadelbauer wearing right now, huh?
Oh, he's wearing nothing, actually.
He's naked?
Yeah, he's butt naked. He's just walking around his room.
How are you speaking so loudly? Why can't he hear you?
He's got earmuffs on.
Earmuffs, like for the cold.
It's pretty cold. Yeah, it's pretty cold in his apartment.
That doesn't block out a lot of That's not what they're for. They really don't block out the sound.
They're also they're noise canceling earmuffs.
Okay.
They got active noise cancellation built into them.
That's kind of plausible. It's not really, because I've never heard of that before, that product. When you said active noise canceling, that's when you lost me. You could have just said that they were noise isolating. That would have made more sense.
They're active noise canceling earmuffs.
So they're battery operated earmuffs for the cold.
Exactly. And they got little heaters.
They have batteries inside, and they're meant to go into sub-zero temperatures. See what I did there? Do you see what I did?
Yeah, Sub-Zero, he's a character. He's a villain. He's a bad guy. He kills a bunch of people.
Thanks, Adrian. Thanks.
Oh, the action scene at the beginning of Mortal Kombat's sick. But anyways, real quick, there's, you could buy heated jackets.
Heated jackets.
Like jackets that you turn on and they heat you. Like it's like
a battery-operated jacket.
Yeah.
Right? It's got battery packs and stuff?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, battery packs. And then you got to, like, I guess, charge your jacket. At the end of the day, like you go home and you plug your jacket in. I would be terrified that jacket would just light on fire. You're like walking.
Is this an exploding battery?
This fucking thing just combusts on your body while you're out in the cold. Yeah,
that would be bad. Exploding would be worse. Like batteries, lithium-ion batteries, not that they're known to explode, but there was that whole, Samsung phone fiasco on the plane.
Yeah.
Etc. I can imagine that would be not good.
Yeah, that was wild. That was wild. That was like...
Yeah, that was a crazy chapter in Samsung's history, for sure.
I know.
The Note series. They recovered, I feel like, pretty well, though. So good for them.
Yeah, you still get, like, like...
Exploding phones?
Yeah. No, like, people coming in and like, aren't these the phones that explode?
Oh, yeah? You still have people coming in?
Like, every once in a blue moon. Yeah, every once in a blue moon. I'm like, what?
Oh, shit. No, that was like 10 years ago, lady. Yeah. No. Although maybe the next iteration, you never know, I guess.
Yeah. I know.
Okay, Adrian, I think it's time to move on to the news because there's something related. I feel it in my bones that there's something related based on what you were just talking about and what the first news story is. It's just a weird coincidence. So do you want to get into the news? Yeah, I'm looking to make a sugoi, and I'm not ashamed to say it.
Okay, do it up, man. Actually, I'm going to let you do it because it's related to something I like.
Okay, let's begin with a small collection of more focused stories that have been particularly pertinent this week. Number 1. As publication deadline reports, Moon Knight showrunner Jeremy Slater has been hired on by Warner Brothers as the screenwriter for the upcoming Mortal Kombat film sequel. Mortal Kombat is a brutal fighting game that was initially created by Arcade Machines in did I say created by?
They're created by Arcade Machines. The computers are alive, dude.
They're created for. They were initially created for Arcade Machines in 1992 and has since become an incredibly popular franchise for home entertainment systems like the Xbox and PlayStation. Mortal Kombat has had many different game sequels over the years, with the most recent release being Mortal Kombat 11 in 2020. Recently, Warner Brothers released a 2021 film adaptation for Mortal Kombat, and Jeremy Slater's new script is meant to be directly linked to that movie.
Nice.
Speaking of Mortal Kombat and video game adaptations, entertainment website IGN has reported that 2021 Mortal Kombat screenwriter Greg Russo has been hired on as the showrunner for a new System Shock TV series adaptation for the gaming-centric streaming service Binge. System Shock is an action-adventure game that initially released in 1994, but is more recently being remade for a scheduled release at some point in 2022. Yes.
Interesting.
Yes, Adrian. What do you make of these two kind of jam-packed, connected, but kind of not connected stories? We got Greg Russo making a System Shock TV series for Binge, and then we also have Moon Knight showrunner Jeremy Slater making a Mortal Kombat film sequel to sequel the exact movie you were just talking about moments ago, which is such a crazy coincidence.
What are the chances, Simon? It's almost like I watched this movie because of this story.
Oh, I thought you did it the opposite. I thought you chose the story because you choose the stories because you watched the movie.
Yeah, I did neither of those things.
Right, because it's a coincidence.
It's just a coincidence, yeah.
So exactly. I guess I'll never know which one of those you did.
But
you never lie on this podcast because you just never lie.
I never do.
Ever.
I never make things up. I'm the most honest human being ever.
Yeah, to ever exist. Yep.
Like the entire population of New Zealand, and that's why they love us so much. That's why we're number 2.
Because they're so honest?
Yeah. Exactly.
That's okay. I don't know what that has to do with us. They might be very honest, but
it's all connected.
Okay. Whatever, Adrian. What are you thinking about this news? The news about film and TV that we were just talking about?
Well, Simon,
Mortal Kombat.
I'm quite excited for this. Again, I'm sold on this Mortal Kombat franchise movies. It's a fun time. I want to see more of this. And I'm glad that it's not like a one and done thing. Because like I mentioned briefly in the Mortal Kombat review that I just gave, that was super in depth. They do actually set up a sequel at the end of there where it's like, oh, I can kind of see where this is going. And maybe they'll actually...
Yeah, like Resident Evil.
Yeah. God, I love
Sorry,
Resident
okay.
Evil.
I have to ask you. I feel like the Resident Evil movie, it seems like the budget's very low. Would you argue that the Mortal Kombat movie's got a bit of a higher budget? It probably has better production values? Because that's what I at least when I watched the trailer for Mortal Kombat, that's the impression that I got, especially because it's a Warner Brothers film and the Resident Evil film is, I don't even know who's backing it producer wise, but
I think so. Isn't Sony like the distributor for that movie?
Was it? I don't know, but my point was Warner Brothers like directly linked for that film. Do you think that it had better production values than Resident Evil Battle for Raccoon Village?
Yeah, Raccoon Town, which is a good movie, by the way. Yeah, I would say that it does. Like, it's definitely not like the highest budget looking movie out there. Like, it definitely does seem a little bit low budget at times, but I think it does have a little bit more production value than Resident Evil Welcome to Raccoon Town.
A little bit.
Yeah, by a little bit. There's some like very obvious use of green screen and stuff like that. But again, the hyper...
Whoa. Step back. Very obvious use of green. What does that mean?
It means that you look at the movie and you're like, there's green screen.
You can see the edges of green screen?
No, like you can't see the edges of green screen. You just know it's green screen. Where it's like, you know, like you just look at it and like, yeah, that's green screen. I don't know how to explain it. You just know. like when you're watching like a Marvel movie and there's, you know, they're using a bunch of green screen.
I don't ever know exactly how much or where their green screen is used in a Marvel movie. That's why I'm confused.
Well, that's what I'm saying. The Marvel movies you can't tell, but you can kind of tell in this Mortal Kombat movie. I don't know how to explain this to you, Simon. You just know sometimes. You just look at a movie or two.
It's a Warner Brothers film. That's very weird.
Yeah. It's just like not the most high budget movie is what I'm trying to say. So there's
the edges. It's like the edges usually is the easiest way to tell that they for sure use green screen in a sequence. It's just bad CG.
Yeah. Again, the CG is not phenomenal, but again, it does seem like more high budget than the Resident Evil movie.
Am I saying green screen?
You said it briefly, yeah.
Green screen.
Yeah. Green screen.
When did I say green screen?
I heard you.
Okay, yeah. Okay, penguin.
It's a penguin. I don't understand what you want.
Penguin. Oh, it's even better. It's even better than I imagined it. I forget about how you say it sometimes, and then you say it again, and I'm like, penguin. All right. Anyways,
How about you shut your whore mouth?
it just makes me so happy. It just makes me so happy. Whoa, it's not nice.
Yeah, I know it wasn't. I'm sorry. But yeah, like I'm stoked for this Mortal Kombat sequel. Now, with Greg Russo, who was the screenwriter for Mortal Kombat, you know, kind of moving on to the System Shock TV series. I don't think the writing in Mortal Kombat was the highlight of that movie. I think the over the top violence and action scenes were, but the writing wasn't bad. Like it's just a little bit campy and corny at times. And, you know, there's some like funny jokes sprinkled throughout. I have never played System Shock. I'm not too familiar with it, but I did play, you know, its spiritual successor in BioShock, which I absolutely adore. And I know they're coming out with that System Shock remake, which is essentially just like BioShock in space. Like it's a space thing. So I would probably give this game a try. But again, my knowledge on System Shock is fairly limited. And I don't even really know the gaming-centric streaming service Binge. Like I feel like this might be the first time I really am acknowledging its existence, like in my brain, like, you know, downloading this information. So I don't imagine this series is going to be all too high budget either. So I don't know. I'm definitely curious about it though. Like I'm going to watch it maybe. Definitely the Mortal Kombat sequel, and I'll keep an eye out on the System Shock series. Yeah, I don't know. I'm into this. Do you have any interest in either of these properties, Simon Edie? This Mortal Kombat movie or System Shock?
Well, I haven't seen the first Mortal Kombat. I did definitely play Mortal Kombat for the Super Nintendo long ago.
Yeah, they didn't have the gore in that one, I think.
Well, it's old 2D graphics, but it was pretty violent. I don't know.
Because wasn't the thing... And we're not a gaming podcast, but I swear to God, like on the Super Nintendo, it didn't have like blood or gore. And then when they released it on like Sega, they were just like, there's violence in this one. So you could do like the crazy fatalities.
I don't know. It's been so long since I played that game. I also feel like, and my brother's probably listening to this and he's like, I knew it. But I feel like, and this is probably based on an accusation that he made. I'm pretty sure I lent the game to my next door neighbor and he never returned it. And my brother's never truly forgiven me for that. I'm pretty sure that's the case. I could be wrong, but I feel like maybe he just thinks I lent it to him because of the fact that he blamed me all these years for that. Am I admitting it? No, actually. So I don't even know why I'm saying that this is controversial. This is not. Because I probably didn't lend it to him, Oliver, you know?
Yeah.
Anyways, very related to film and TV. You're welcome, audience. But yeah, no, that's kind of my my history with Mortal Kombat. I played it on Super NES, and then we lost the game and we could never play it again. Yeah. So then we just resorted to playing Street Fighter from then on out.
Fair enough.
Yeah, which also doesn't have much blood or gore,
unfortunately,
for Super NES.
Yeah,
Super Nintendo.
Yeah. Do you have any interest in watching this Mortal Kombat movie? Not the sequel, obviously, but like
I'm gonna watch the sequel without. I'm just gonna watch the sequel actually instead of the initial movie from Warner Brothers. That's my plan.
Fair enough. I don't think I'd recommend that, but it's up to you if you want to.
No, I'm not going to do either. I don't know. I might watch the first movie, but the one thing I want to point out for sure, the sequel being written by Jeremy Slater. I am very curious what Jeremy Slater is going to do with Moon Knight. This is one of those things. Every movie that Jeremy Slater has written or co-written has been below 50% on Rotten Tomatoes. Every single one. That doesn't necessarily mean they're terrible. Rotten Tomatoes is not always correct, as we have discussed many times on this podcast. But I'm very curious if this movie will be better written or not. And because Jeremy Slater is the showrunner for Moon Knight, I'm tremendously curious what Moon Knight's going to be like, because he's got this great track record from his show, The Exorcist, which is like above 80% on Rotten Tomatoes. So I'm genuinely up in the air. And so when we talked about how excited we were watching that Moon Knight trailer last week, I am very excited to see that show when it comes out in March. But I am genuinely curious whether it's going to be good or not, because I have no idea, because his track record is so interesting. It's actually quite, I'm intrigued. So we'll see if he can write a great movie in Mortal Kombat, the sequel. And if it's going to be better than Greg Russo's version, which you said is not very well written and very campy, a little bit too campy maybe for its own good. So we'll see.
I like it, man.
On the other hand, Binge.com is a premium type streaming service that you subscribe. Oh, apparently it's subscription free.
Oh.
But it's going to like host E3 2021. And they're looking to add like a whole bunch of shows, I think. So they're not only doing System Shock, they have a bunch of other options on there too. And I'm blanking on which one. I think it's the Driver series. Are you familiar with that from Ubisoft?
Oh yeah, that came out so long ago. I remember playing that on like PS1 or 2 back in the day, like when my neighbors had that game, Driver.
Yeah, but the game is being adapted into a TV series from binge.com as well. So they're doing that with like a collaboration with Ubisoft, who have been producing TV series and movies over the last few years. I think starting with Assassin's Creed with Michael Fassbender, which didn't do so well, and then kind of more positively, leading into the Apple TV Plus series Mythic Quest, which was very highly regarded, and we can't say enough good things about.
Mm-hmm. And then also Werewolves Within was also by Ubisoft.
Yeah, that was Ubisoft backed too, because they own that IP.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm curious. Again, this is an interesting thing with this streaming service, which I don't think has any content right now. Because if you go to their website, if you just go to binge.com, Adrian.
Yeah, I was looking at it actually. Yeah.
Take a little looky-loo.
Peeky.
It literally just says, get ready for the future of gaming entertainment 2022. So I don't think there is any content so far for that streaming service. And then there's like these pictures and there's this guy with the glasses on, and that kind of makes me not want to watch this streaming service. You scroll down.
Oh yeah, that tool with the white hoodie.
No, I'm not going to call him a tool, but this doesn't strike me as like, now I'm interested in this. Look at his smirk.
Check it out,
Zoom in.
gamers.
Zoom in on his smirk.
Come on over here. What a fucking dick.
I'm not saying that, but I'm just saying, I don't know what that's for. Who is that for? That's my question.
Come on over here, gamers. We're looking cool with our glasses on and our hoodies up.
I wonder if it was a stock photo that they just found and then pasted it there.
Maybe.
Because that's happened with some, lesser known brands in the past. But regardless, I'm curious about binge.com, genuinely. I'm curious about System Shock, although I haven't played BioShock. I know, cardinal sin of gaming. I haven't played BioShock 1, 2,
so
or
good, man.
Infinity. What's it called?
Infinite. Yeah.
Yeah. So curious, but we'll see. We'll see what happens.
We will.
Adrian, it's time to move on to number 2.
Mm-hmm. You gotta go poop.
As we're what?
Like you gotta go poop. It's like
because
number 2.
People say number 2 when they have to go poo.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you're so clever.
I'm
talking about this.
Freaking so clever, dude. I remember in
the second news story.
Yeah. Okay. I remember in elementary school.
Okay. Your thing can wait. The news can wait. Okay, I'm going to tell a story about poo in elementary school. Excuse me.
No, I just remember like quite vividly, like one of my like classmates. I think it was like grade 4. My teacher, Mr. Halliburton, good guy. And yeah, he like the kid like raises his hand like, "Can I go to the bathroom to take a number 2?" Like Mr. Halliburton's like, "Stop saying that." He was like so annoyed.
Why did you describe it that way? Anyways,
yeah,
just say you have to go to the bathroom. We don't need to know what you're going to do there.
Yeah, why are you telling everyone you're taking a shit? Like, so stupid, man. Kids are dumb.
Was the kid just thinking that he was being polite, but he was like not realizing he was going too far, or was he just doing that to bug Mr. Halliburton?
I don't know, man.
He's a troll, perhaps.
That kid was. It's possible.
Problem child?
Yeah, definitely a problem child.
Did you have any like crazy problem children in your school, like in your class, that were just like, ridiculous?
Yeah, definitely.
One of them was you, wasn't it?
No, I was actually like fairly good. And then like once I got into high school, that was my rebellious phase. Well, I had a brief rebellious phase in like grade 4 or 5, and then like
Halliburton set you straight, didn't he?
No, like I was always pretty good to teachers. I was just kind of like a shit disturber otherwise. Like, I was never really mean. I was just like a little shit disturber otherwise. And then like when I got into high school, I just became like a huge pothead, and I was like, "We don't need to do anything, man. 420." And yeah,
I see. Alrighty.
Yeah.
All right. Moving on to story number 2. Not about what you think.
Poo.
No. As reported by publication Variety, A Quiet Place writer-director John Krasinski will once again collaborate with his The Office co-star Steve Carell on his next Paramount film, If. If is a family-oriented comedy movie to be written and directed by John Krasinski, that will also star Krasinski alongside Free Guy actor Ryan Reynolds, Fleabag actor Phoebe Waller-Bridges, and Watchmen actor Louis Gossett Jr. The film is meant to follow a child who goes on a journey to rediscover their imagination and is set to debut on November 17th, 2023. Adrian, what are you making of John Krasinski's next film?
I'm thinking that this is cool. I'm quite excited. I'm very excited to see John Krasinski and Steve Carell reunite once again, man. Like, I mean, both you and I have talked about our love for The Office plenty of times on this show, and you know, it's going to be nice to see them finally back together. And I guess this kind of makes sense with John Krasinski, I guess, not coming back for Quiet Place Part 3, like writing and directing. I don't know. It's a little bit confusing, that whole rigmarole. So maybe this is the reason why they're hiring other directors or writers for that. Whatever. That's back burner.
But that might not be Part 3, right? That was supposed to be a spin-off, A Quiet Place. Yeah, so I think maybe John Krasinski, after he's done this film, might make the Part 3 himself.
Yeah. You might be right.
We don't know.
Yeah, I guess we'll just have to wait and see. But otherwise, I think this has a really good cast. Like, Ryan Reynolds is great. You know, I love Phoebe Waller-Bridge. Is it Bridges? Phoebe Waller-Bridges? Isn't it Phoebe Waller-Bridge? I thought. Doesn't matter. I'll believe you.
It is Phoebe Waller-Bridge. My mistake.
It's okay, man. Everybody makes mistakes. Everybody has.
It's not like
days.
Nash Bridges. It's just Phoebe Waller-Bridge. My mistake.
Yeah.
Apologies to Phoebe Waller-Bridge.
And Louis Gossett Jr. He was great in Watchmen, so I don't know. I think this is a great cast. I'm not a huge fan of children in movies, so if we're gonna follow a child who goes on a journey to rediscover their imagination, I hope they hire a good child actor. It's not like garbage. The kids they have for A Quiet Place are good, so maybe they'll bring one of those kids on. Maybe the young deaf girl. That would be cool. I'm not too sure. But I don't know. I'm quite interested in this movie. I like, every once in a while, you know, you just want to watch like a nice family friendly comedy, and you know, like with a great cast. Like, why can't we have like an awesome cast? You know, making a little family oriented comedy movie. You know what I'm saying, man? You know what I'm saying?
I do see what you're saying. Very good. Very good.
Yeah, it is very good. But every once in a while, yeah, I don't know. There's just some good family-oriented movies. But yeah, again, what I'm most excited for about this is just seeing John Krasinski and Steve Carell reunite. It's just going to be nice.
Yeah, it'll be cool. Hopefully they're in it for a lot of it, and this isn't just like some kind of weird like smoke they're pumping here, and it's like Steve Carell's in it for like 5 minutes.
Ugh.
They're not really reuniting. Yeah. That would be terribly disappointing, to be honest.
Yeah, they don't even share like a scene together.
But John Krasinski like posted on social media, posted the photos of all of these actors and said something about like, if only I had the Dreamcast or whatever, ... something along those lines. I kind of butchered it. I'm sure that's not exactly what he said, but it was kind of cool and sweet, and I thought that was neat. So I'm curious how this will turn out and what it's going to be, because so far he's just made a rated R horror movie. So we're just more curious where Krasinski can take his directing. That's what I'm most curious about, because he kind of surprised me a little bit with A Quiet Place. Not that he couldn't do it. I just feel like he didn't direct anything like that before. It was kind of his directorial debut in terms of films, like feature films too. So it's cool. I like this idea of like seeing what new directors come up with. It's where new directors we haven't seen for a little while come up with. Like I'm always interested to see, not that he's new anymore, but Alex Garland's stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, what does Alex Garland come up with next is always something interesting. Or even Noah Hawley, to be honest. Like, although his movie kind of didn't do very well at all, his shows every time have been smash hits, pretty much, in terms of critical reception. So, like, Noah Hawley, of course, made Fargo and Legion for FX, and Alex Garland made Annihilation and Devs, and of course Ex Machina, etc.
God, what a good movie Ex Machina is.
Yeah, I really love Annihilation, honestly. I really do love it. I think it's awesome too. So yeah. Anyway, cool. But speaking of family movies, Adrian, number 3. As Deadline reports, Captain America star Chris Evans has just been cast in Amazon's upcoming holiday film, Red One. Red One is meant to be an action-adventure comedy film spanning the globe, with actor Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson inhabiting one of the leading roles. Fast 5 and Hobbs and Shaw screenwriter Chris Morgan is said to be penning the script, with the film being directed by Jumanji Welcome to the Jungle director Jake Kasdan.
Oh.
Adrian, another family film, presumably. It is a Christmas movie, so it'd be very weird if it was rated R.
Yeah.
I mean, it's possible. I mean, there are some rated R slightly Christmas movies, but I'm pretty sure this is a family film. And again, Chris Evans opposite The Rock. What do you make of this?
I don't know. I'm kind of interested in this. Like, I mean, I love Chris Evans as an actor, and Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. Obviously, he's a very charismatic fella. It's interesting though, because Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson is just—I don't want to say he's a one-note actor, because I don't think that's entirely true.
Well,
but
I would say there's a lot of actors out there that I feel like they act very naturally, very well.
Mm-hmm.
Like he acts like a person would. Like he's not a bad actor, but he doesn't necessarily inhabit a role like Tom Hardy does.
Mm-hmm.
Like he's kind of The Rock playing the role. And then that's
a good one. Rock and roll.
Yeah. You're welcome. But he's playing the role as The Rock, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it makes sense. And he does a good job in it. Like,
well, in everything.
Yeah,
but he's just a badass in most things he's in.
Yeah, exactly, including the hit movie Rampage, which we both love.
Which
is a better movie than Ready Player One or whatever.
It isn't. Rampage is not better, and that is fact.
We can agree to disagree on that one. But I don't know. This seems like a cool little team up. Chris Evans, Mr. The Rock together. And it's interesting as well because Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson is in 2 movies with red in its name. There's Red Notice and then the red one. And these movies are not connected.
No.
Yeah.
I think he plays Santa. Isn't that what they're referencing?
I don't know. Maybe.
Red one is like the red one is Santa Claus?
It's possible.
I'm assuming. I mean, it maybe isn't, but I just, it's interesting that it's Chris Morgan writing this because he's written mostly just action films.
Mm-hmm.
So I know that it's supposed to be an action adventure movie, but I figured it was more comedic than action adventure. Although I know that like there are some notes of comedy in all of those Fast and Furious films.
Mm-hmm.
He also wrote like the Fast and Furious 7 or whatever, and he wrote the Fast and the Furious or whatever, some combination of the words Fast and Furious together in a sentence.
Yeah,
which is like the way they make every one of these titles.
Mm-hmm.
How confusing are the titles for like the Fast movies? Jesus Christ!
I don't know. F9, as they called the last one.
F9. Yeah, that's the most logical way you can pronounce that.
Yeah,
for sure.
But I do like that Jumanji movie, like the new Jumanji movies. I like all the Jumanji movies actually.
Yeah, I don't mind the Fast and Furious movies, but I feel like those movies are...
It's a franchise I've always wanted to kind of get more into. Like, I've watched the first 3. I watched, like, Fast and Furious, Too Fast, Too Furiouses, and
Tokyo Drift.
Tokyo Fasting. I've watched those 3 back in the day, and I haven't watched any of them as of, recently, like, probably within the past 10 years, to be fair. And I don't know, this franchise just keeps on going on. They have, freaking 10 movies if you include Hobbs and Shaw, and I'm just like, this seems like fun. Like, this seems like something I'd probably like. Just a bunch of these characters just fucking around in cars and like stealing shit. I don't even know if they still do heists because it starts off as like them stealing like DVD players or whatever. But anyways, not important. But yeah, I don't know. I'm kind of interested in this one, and I like Christmas movies in general. You know what I mean, man? I just like Christmas. I like Christmas as a holiday. Why not make another Christmas movie that could be like an action adventure Christmas movie, something fun? Maybe Santa's killing people. Who knows? You can see something cool happen.
I don't think that's going to happen, but yeah, okay.
Maybe he gets into a fist fight with other people. I wouldn't be surprised. What's your favorite Christmas movie?
That's a good question. Mm-hmm. I watched a lot of Santa Claus with Tim Allen when I was a kid.
Yeah, that's a great one. I love that movie.
I actually, going back to Tim Allen right away, but Christmas with the Cranks was a movie that we watched a lot as a family as well.
So it's funny. Like, I remember liking Christmas with the Cranks as like a kid. And then I watched it within the past 5 years. And goddamn, that movie's awful.
Why is it awful?
I don't know. I rewatched it and I was just like, wow, this movie's really bad. I really did not like it. And then like I remember like watching it and I was like, man, like I'm curious how it did. And it's like under 10% on Rotten Tomatoes, I think. Like it's like,
is it?
Yeah.
Oh, I liked it a lot more than that. But yeah, it's like Jack Frost is like incredibly low on Rotten Tomatoes, but I had fond memories of that movie.
Christmas with the Cranks, 5% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Incredibly high.
Yeah.
Incredibly high.
But yeah, like again, I have like vivid memories of me being like, this movie's so great. And yeah, like when I rewatched it as an adult, I was like, this movie's awful. Like, what the fuck was I thinking? So
yeah,
I don't recommend you watch it again. Just keep that nice memory in your brain. You know what I'm saying, man?
Okay.
Yeah.
Thanks. I also love Klaus.
Oh,
that movie I watched this year, the animated film, is genuinely amazing. Like, it really is awesome. It's got a great cast. It's really fantastic. So when the holiday season gears up in exactly a full year from now, Adrian, you should watch that. We're really keeping the Christmas cheer alive in January here on Split Focus Film and TV Podcast. Actually, when does this episode air? Does it air in February?
It airs on the 31st of January.
It's the last day of January. Mm-hmm. Very good. Very good, Adrian.
Yeah. You can ask me.
I like this combo, though. Chris Evans, The Rock.
Yeah.
Good combo.
It is a good combo.
It's an interesting combo that I don't think we've seen before. Have we?
If we have, I don't remember.
Maybe we just don't remember. But anyways, Adrian, I know you're eager to tell me. That's why you asked me what movies I liked for Christmas, Christmas holiday.
I don't care about you. I wanted to talk about it for me.
Oh, sorry. Home Alone 2 for me as well. That's a great one, of course. What are we? Am I crazy?
Over the original?
Home Alone 1 as well. Sorry, they're both Home Alone. They're both Home Alone. They're also both Home Alone. They're both
Alone.
Christmas movies. And of course, Die Hard, because that's a Christmas movie as well. Let's be honest. Anyways, sorry. What do you like? What movies do you like? Actually, let's move on to the montage. I don't really care.
Oh, okay.
I'm joking. I'm not a dick. I do actually care. I care. That's why we have this podcast, so I can talk to you and ask you what your favorite movies are.
I care too, Simon. I'm glad I get to talk to you as well on this episode, on this show.
Are you going to tell me what your movies are or what? Like, are we waiting for...
my favorite's probably Elf, realistically. Jon Favreau's directed Elf.
Oh, that's a good one. I haven't seen Elf in some time.
I don't know. That's a classic. I just love that movie. I still quote Elf constantly. I'll say Buddy the Elf, what's your favorite color? Just randomly. You know what I mean? It's a fucking classic. I don't know. I really love that movie.
Just randomly, out of the blue, without actually introducing yourself.
Mm-hmm.
You just say it out loud.
Yeah. Like if I'm ever pretending to pick up a phone, I'll say 3 lines usually. There's 3 things that I'll switch between. Okay. And one is Buddy the Elf, what's your favorite color?
Yeah.
And the other one is Dunder Mifflin, this is Pam. And the last one is no, this is Patrick. So that's from SpongeBob. It's is this the Krusty Krab? No, this is Patrick.
I was really hoping the last one would also have Will Ferrell in it, but you failed. So I thought you were going to do an Anchorman reference, and then I'd be like, Will Ferrell's in all of those, but you didn't do that.
No, I didn't. I failed you.
It's too bad. Oh, well. Life goes on.
Oh, well, indeed.
Now on to the montage, a sequence of our show in which I briefly present the week's smaller news stories as Adrian delivers a brisk verdict. Number 1. As Publication Deadline reports, Ex Machina writer-director Alex Garland's next film will be called Civil War and will star Power of the Dog actor Kirsten Dunst and Narcos star Wagner Moura.
Oh, okay. I'm sold on this already. I like Alex Garland's stuff. I still really want to watch Devs as well. Kind of annoying that we don't have that.
Me too. Yeah. Number 2, according to Variety, promising young woman writer-director Emerald Fennell has planned out her next project as a movie based around a story of obsession that will begin filming in the summer of 2022.
I'll watch anything Emerald Fennell makes after watching Promising Young Woman, because that's a really good movie.
That director is another director that I'm very interested to see what she does next, because we haven't seen that much from her as a director.
Mm-hmm.
Number 3, as followed by The Hollywood Reporter, Jupiter's Legacy actor Josh Duhamel has been cast as an ex-NHLer turned hockey trainer in the upcoming Season 2 of Disney Plus series The Mighty Ducks Game Changers.
I thought it was pronounced Josh Duhamel.
Probably. But we don't pronounce shit right on this podcast. That's our quirk.
Never have, never will.
Oh my god. Is it Josh Duhamel?
Thought it was.
Probably. It makes sense. Actually, bring it up at the end of the montage. We'll do it later. Number 4. As reported by Variety, Part 1 of Season 4 for Netflix crime drama Ozark has broken the record for most watch hours accumulated by a Netflix season in its debut week. The first 7 episodes of Season 4, which premiered on January 21st, garnered 77 million watch hours during their first 3 days of release.
That's awesome. I watched the first episode, and I don't know, I just haven't been in the mood for like something dark and depressing right now, but I'm definitely going to watch this. I can't wait.
Number 5. As Deadline reports, Aquaman star Jason Momoa has just been cast in the 10th mainline film in the Fast and Furious franchise.
Fast 10 your seatbelts, as they say online.
Oh. Number 6. As Deadline has reported, the OC star Adam Brody and Homeland star Claire Danes have both been cast in the FX limited series Fleischman is in Trouble. The series will also star Party Down actor Lizzie Kaplan and the Social Network actor Jesse Eisenberg.
Wow. Jesse Eisenberg from the hit movie Batman v Superman, which is a good movie.
Number 7. As noted by publication The Hollywood Reporter, West Side Story actor Kyle Allen has been cast as He-Man in the Netflix live-action film adaptation of Masters of the Universe.
I'm very confused. Is that like 3 Masters of the Universe shows that Netflix is doing? I'm very confused. There's the Kevin Smith one, there's another animated one, and then now there's this live-action one. This is weird.
A live-action He-Man seems just ridiculous. He's one of the most muscular-looking people ever, and there's a man who's got a skeleton head.
Yeah.
I don't know how that's going to be. I'm very curious. Number 8, according to The Hollywood Reporter, Fargo actor Mary Elizabeth Winstead has been cast in the Disney Plus Star Wars Ahsoka TV series alongside Ahsoka actor Rosario Dawson.
Ooh, I wonder who she's going to play. She's great.
Number 9, as Variety reports, the Don Cheadle starring 1980s Wall Street comedy Black Monday has been canceled by network Showtime after 3 seasons.
Oh, that's too bad. That's too bad. I never watched it.
I know, it's our fault.
Part of the problem.
I know, we're part of the problem. I really did want to watch it because coming off of Don Cheadle's show
House of Lies.
It was so good.
It was.
So it's too bad. Number 10. According to Deadline, Kevin Costner's next film will be a Western called Horizon that he is both set to direct and star in. Horizon is being described as a passion project for Costner with vibes that harken back to Costner's award-winning 1990 film Dances with Wolves.
Absolutely amazing. Good for him. Getting to make a passion project. Happy for him.
And that concludes the montage.
Boo, boo, boo. Montage, Josh Duhamel.
Yeah, I do actually regret not watching Black Monday. I always wanted to start it, but I feel like we don't also have, you and I, access to that show on a streaming service.
Is it not on Crave? Because like most
shows,
it's probably on Crave.
Oh man, then I feel even worse. But
you
anyway,
should.
Okay,
it's on you.
There's too many shows, man. There's too many shows. They get like they float into the background. They just don't get the attention that they deserve.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's on Crave. You're right. Damn. I missed out. I wonder if it got a good ending, so it might be worth like maybe investigating, kind of jumping into for a brief time, because it's only a 30-minute episode
series
show too.
Yep.
Yeah, so like it's like 10 episodes, actually less. Hold on. No, 10 episodes per season, roughly, and
fair enough.
30-minute episodes.
Season 3 is already done, I'm guessing.
Yep, I believe so.
Fair
Just
enough.
got canceled.
Too bad.
Yeah.
Josh Duhamel.
There you go.
Well done. Thank you for that.
That was the hit segment of our show. How do you pronounce that name, Googs?
And we promised during the montage, we were tight for time during the montage. We're trying to get through things really swiftly and cohesively. And we promised we would do that hit segment. And we delivered. Because we deliver, Adrian, on this show. And you never lie.
Never have.
And you never lie.
I don't lie. I don't make things up. I don't fib. Remember that episode of Franklin where it's like Franklin fibs?
I don't. No. I don't.
I don't really remember the premise of it, but I remember Franklin tells a fib.
You can't remember what happened in this episode like about 5 minutes ago, but you remember one of the episodes of Franklin was called Franklin of Fibs.
I don't know if that was exactly what it was called, but it was about Franklin fibbing. The turtle, Franklin, just to clarify.
Okay. All right. That's fair. I just thought you remember the name of the episode was Franklin Fibs. And it's like, I don't remember the names of episodes for most shows.
Franklin tells a fib.
Franklin tells. Is that what it's called?
I don't know. Let's find out. Franklin tells a fib. That's the name. Franklin Fibs. No, it's literally Franklin Fibs. It was called Franklin Fibs.
You were right.
Yeah,
you knew that.
Yeah.
Again, 5 minutes ago on this podcast, you probably do not remember what we talked about. But alas.
Josh Duhamel.
I don't know if that was 5 minutes ago.
That's probably.
I don't think it was. Franklin's done, right?
Over.
That show's over.
It's possible. It would make sense. I watched that when I was a wee child. Franklin.
Why are you saying that would make sense? We talked about that, didn't we? Oh no, we didn't. Sorry, I'm thinking of Arthur.
Yeah, that fucking stupid looking aardvark.
Arthur Franklin ended in 2004.
Yeah.
So, but no, Arthur ran for forever. That was running for years, and that finally ended this year, I believe, or it's about to end.
I don't know.
I don't know how they got those two confused. They're not very similar.
You ever watch Little Bear as well? I watched Little
Bear.
The show Little Bear.
Do you ever watch Care Bears? I don't know what Little Bear is. I'm looking it up.
No, I know about Care Bears. I watched like maybe an episode here or there, but I don't really like the Care Bears.
Little Bear. I think I did watch Little Bear. Yeah.
My parents hated the show. They're just like, "Oh man, stop watching this. This is shit TV."
There's also that show about the elephants.
The
You know what I'm
elephants.
talking about? There's like 3 elephants.
Kids show elephants. Let's see. Babar?
Babar. Yeah, Babar. You never watched Babar?
This definitely rings a bell.
Yeah.
Yeah, it does. I definitely seen a couple of them episodes, man.
I think it was darker than I kind of anticipated as I was watching it as a kid,
Yeah.
if I recall. It's like that scene in Snow White. We've talked about that before. That one scene where the huntsman almost kills her. There's the glistening of the knife, and then she's running through the woods, and the woods are very frightening in that Snow White movie. But anyways, we digress because I don't know how we got on this tangent, but I feel like we could just bring up. Have you watched over and over again?
Have I watched what?
For like every show we watched as a child. That was like an example of other shows we could bring up, but I don't want to bring up other shows because you'd be like, yeah, I did see that. And then we can talk about it for another 3 hours, but I'm supposed to reel us back in because you won't do it. God damn it. Anyways, Adrian, what do you have for me? What do you got for me?
I got new releases for you, Simon.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. This is for the week of January 31st to February the 6th, which is a Monday to a Sunday. Not many movies coming out this week, at least. Not that I could find, Simon.
Okay.
However, good news, Simon. The theaters are opening back up on Monday.
Yes, they are.
The day this episode airs, the movies are opening up.
Yeah, I found it interesting. Cineplex, which is a huge theater chain here in Ontario and in Canada, it's a big theater chain in Canada specifically. They posted on social media, and I really appreciate whoever's running that Twitter page. But they posted on Twitter like I'm pretty sure it's a GIF, but it's based out of Moneyball. With Jonah Hill like doing like the fists. He's on the phone and he's just like so happy after he hears news on the phone. He's like 1 second and then he does the fist pump. You know what I'm talking about?
I never watched Moneyball, but I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah, you know what GIF I'm talking about. That's the key. Yeah. Did you see that tweet from Cineplex?
I did indeed, Simon. I did it.
I was just charmed by that. I was like, these guys there's somebody who's running this is just I feel like probably just a fan of
the theater.
Of movies. They're just like legitimately not just doing their job just for the heck of it. They kind of, they care about the whole social outreach aspect.
Yeah, I remember when Cineplex reopened last time, I was like so happy and I like posted a little tweet about it, and then they literally like commented on my tweet it was literally just the like a GIF of Dr. Evil doing like the bring it in thing like for a hug.
Right. Yeah, they responded to you.
I was like, yeah, I love you guys.
Yeah, that was great.
I love this corporation.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
Yeah, I love the movies.
I was reading again about what happened to Tanner Zipchen.
Tanner Z, our homeboy.
Tanner Zed.
Canadian treasure Tanner Z.
Tanner Zed. How can he be Canadian treasure Tanner Z? That doesn't make any sense.
He's
Canadian
the guy
treasure
that does it.
Tanner Zed.
He's like, hey guys, Tanner Z here.
That doesn't make any sense. Tanner Z needs to go back to Canada school, okay?
I think he's from Saskatchewan.
Yeah, it makes even less sense. Tanner Zed. Come on, man. Come on. This is a $6,000 suit. Come on. Anyway, yeah. And I was looking at that and I was just, again, disappointed that they ever let him go. There's no one in the pre-show now. He was the pride and joy of the Cineplex pre-show. He once said in an interview, he's like, you always go into the movies, you're going to watch whatever movie you're watching. You're watching a Marvel movie, you're watching a James Bond movie. You're watching it with completely different actors probably between the movies you're watching from week to week. But one thing you have that they all have in common is you're going to see me in the pre-show. And I was like, wow, that's true. It's a little cocky, but it's also true.
I love that guy.
Not anymore, though. It's not true anymore.
Well, I still love him, even though it's not true anymore.
Yeah, it sucks. They should hire someone else for the pre-show or try to hire him, get back or something.
They should hire him back and actually pay him properly.
I know it would be better if they hired him back, but they did pay him proper at the end. I know there was that whole thing about him being paid with scene points in the beginning, but I think that got cleared up eventually.
That's good.
But yeah.
He deserves better, Tannersy. Goddamn treasure.
Indeed he does. He's been in a couple things recently, though.
Yeah, he was in The Boys.
He was in something else. A video game, Little Hope, I think.
Oh, was he?
Yeah, I was just reading that as well because I went down a little bit of an internet hole there when I was looking him up there. And I think he was in the Little Hope game, which is a very cinematic game, much like Detroit Become Human. You kind of just play a story.
Dark Pictures anthology.
It's a cinematic kind of butterfly effect type story.
I still wanted to play that game. I played the first one that came out, like Man of Medan. I think you and I played that, actually. No, we don't play. Actually, we played it. We just never talked. That's fine.
You're like fact checking yourself based on the rules that we made that we don't talk outside this podcast because of course we don't.
Will. Yeah.
We're getting sidetracked again, Adrian. I'd like you to tell me about what movies are coming up.
New releases.
Yeah.
So yeah, I couldn't find too many movies releasing this week. So I don't know. It seemed like a little light, but again, I used my regular sources and not much was there. There
was little hope for the sources.
Yeah, exactly. You're bringing it back, baby. You're bringing it back. But anyways,
from 3 seconds ago.
Exactly. It's full circle. It's a tiny circle, but it's still full circle.
It's a freaky circle. It's a freaky circle.
Yeah. What a good movie. Dorothy Rack.
We're going a way off chart here. We gotta keep it. We gotta rein it in.
My Best Friend Anne Frank is the first movie coming out on Tuesday, February 1st.
Your best friend's Anne Frank? I thought I was your best friend.
You are after Anne Frank. I mean, you became it after she died in that attic.
Okay, I feel like this is too dark of a topic to really.
Yeah, it's the Holocaust was not a joke.
Yeah, let's get out of this. Let's talk about this.
I saw this random fact. I was literally in the lunchroom and one of my coworkers was like, he's just like, oh, and I was like, what's wrong? And it's just like, I just read that 30% of teens don't know that the Holocaust was real. I was like, what? I didn't fact check this, but he said that to me. I'm like, that's ridiculous. It's like,
how is that real though? That's so sad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just like Anne Frank's story, unfortunately. And this movie is based on the real life friendship of Anne Frank and Hannah Goslar. However you pronounce it.
Already.
Next movie is They, Them, Us. I misconfirmed my movie inside of the Apple TV app. We can start joking again now because we're out of that. This movie is about two divorced parents with kids of their own that start dating. Yeah. The next movie.
What?
What do you mean?
Two divorced parents with kids of their own
start dating each other.
Yeah, that could be easily misconstrued.
It could be.
They still have kids of their own if they have the kids together. So I was like, what are we talking about here? Incest?
It's possible.
No, it's not. That's not what this is referencing.
Definitely not.
It's just very poorly written.
Yeah, I can't believe the write-up was written like that. I literally copied and pasted that one.
No, you did not.
Next, the movie coming out is going out on Wednesday, February 2nd, and this movie is The Tindler Swindler. It's
The Tinder Swindler.
I did say Tindler. Yeah, The Tinder Swindler.
You did it with confidence. You didn't go back to correct it. Yeah. The Tindler Swindler.
This is a Netflix original movie about a dude that conned many women out of millions of dollars. Millions.
This looked really interesting. We talked about this actually on the montage, I think, many months back. I'm actually curious if this is rated well, like people think of it highly. I'm quite curious because this is a pretty notorious story. So I'm curious about it for sure.
Yeah, me too. Me too as well. And then the rest of the movies are coming out on Friday, February the 4th. The first one is a movie called Through My Window. It's a Netflix original movie about two people that fall in love because they keep on looking at each other through a window. Yeah.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I don't imagine that's the main reason. I don't think they were just looking at each other through a window and they fell in love because this window is magical. I think they were just looking at each other and constantly looking at each other through a window. And eventually they were just like, blah, 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 and we're talking, and then they fall in love.
Right.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
And his next movie that's coming in is a movie called Loop Lepeta. It's Loop with 3 O's. It's a Netflix original. Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
It's a Netflix original movie, and it's about a woman's boyfriend that loses a mobster's cash, and shit starts hitting the fan, dude.
Damn.
Yeah.
Somebody pooped at a fan and...
And it hit it. Flew it everywhere. There's poop all over.
Damn.
It's that kid in my class in grade 4.
He went to do a number 2.
Yeah, he did. He like raised his hand and got to take a number 2. Mr. Halbert.
Yeah, that's the other problem with that too. You don't want to announce, because if there's an accident, like a serious problem in the bathroom, they all know it's you because you announced that you're taking a number 2. You got to keep it. You got to keep it private what you're going to do in there. It's important.
It's like, hey guys, I'm gonna go take a shit, and then you like go in there, boom, murder happens in that same bathroom. There you go. You just let everyone know that you were there. Is that what you were referring to, or do you mean like if the toilet clogged?
Yeah, the toilet clogged would have been the more obvious one.
Yeah, fair enough. Anyways, next up is a movie called Book of Love, Simon. This is confirmed by Movie Insider in the trailer, and this is a Amazon Prime Video original movie, and just another love story movie. It's just another love story. Yeah, it involves a book, I think. Or maybe it doesn't. I don't really remember. Anyways, next up is a movie called Last Looks, Simon. And this is confirmed by Movie Insider in the Apple TV application. This is a video-on-demand movie starring Charlie Hunnam and Mel Gibson. And this movie's about detectives and stuff like that.
Great. What these write-ups are just prime time. Just incredible. Wow.
Thanks, man. I really put in like extra effort this week.
It was sarcasm.
Oh, okay. Never mind then. Wow.
I thought that was fairly clear.
Well, it wasn't.
Yeah.
Anyways, the next movie's coming out is Jackass Forever. It's confirmed by Cineplex, and it's a sequel to the Jackass movies. You know, you got Jonathan Knoxville. You got Steve O. And they're doing
Stephen O.
Stephen O.
If you want to continue the trend of saying their full names.
And they got like a bunch of guest stars and stuff like that. They're just doing Jackass things, you know. They're electrocuting themselves. They're punching their friends with inflatable things.
Is that what donkeys do?
I think so.
I'm continuing this trend throughout this episode of being an incredibly literal person. I've consistently misunderstood you based on literalism.
Yeah.
So I've done it again.
You're doing a great job there, Drax.
It has to be. It's donkeys forever.
It is donkeys forever. Anyways, the last movie that's coming in is a movie called Moonfall. It's confirmed by Movie Insider in the trailer, and it's coming to theaters. However, this isn't in the Cineplex app, which is kind of throwing me off. But anyways, Moonfall's on Earth. That's what that movie's about.
How?
I don't know, man. I'm no Scientologist. How would I know?
Oh, yeah, I doubt Scientology people would probably know that either. But
why? Because they're dumb. Got them.
No, that's not what I was saying. But anyway, Adrian, that's the end of our regular scheduled programming for this episode. That's it.
That's it. That's all, baby.
And as you say, that's all.
That's it. That's all, baby.
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
I'm hungry.
It's episode 83. Adrian, do you have anything else to add? Do you want to tell the audience anything? Anything that's very important to you that you'd like them to know?
Yes, Simon. 9/11 inside job. No, I'm just kidding.
No.
It's not. It's my common catchphrase. It's the joke catchphrase. I don't think 9/11 was an inside job. It might be. Who knows? I don't. But I don't think it was. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's a national tragedy.
Yes.
International. It changed the world.
Yes.
Changed the world 20 years ago.
Those are facts.
Yeah.
Yes.
Anyways, you can find all your good information on this podcast at multiple podcast services, Simon. You can find it in Google Podcasts. You can find it in Apple Podcasts. You can find us in Spotify. You can find us on the YouTube. You can find us on iHeart Radio. You can find us on iTunes, TuneIn radios. You can find us anywhere. You ever watch that movie Radio with Cuba Gooding Jr.?
I think so.
Yeah.
I think I did.
Me too. I think I watched it in school.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's where you can find us.
Yeah, it is. You can also find us on Facebook and Twitter. We'd appreciate it if you could write us a review on any platform available. Spotify's taking reviews now too. So if you don't mind reviewing us there, I'd appreciate it. And thank you, Adrian, most of all, for joining me on this 83rd episode. I appreciate you.
Dude, you're welcome, dude.
Okay.
Thank you for having me on. Thank you for letting me be your guest for 83 consecutive weeks, talking to me, sharing stories about our lives together.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. Thank you for listening to the 83rd episode of Split Focus, a film and TV podcast. My name is Simon Eady, and this is Adrian Pinter, signing off.
Tis I, Adrian Pinter. I'm about to sign off, just like the Tindler swindler did, probably plenty of times. But you know who else was a Tinder swindler? Batman and Batman v Superman, which is a good movie. He was hooking up with people left and right using the Tinder app in Batman v Superman, which is a good movie. Just like Resident Evil Welcome to Raccoon Town. Also a good movie. Really enjoyed it. Mortal Kombat. Fun time. Am I going to add Mortal Kombat to this last bit? I don't know. I don't think so. We'll see about that.
No, because this segment would be longer than the news, and that would be awful. Mm-hmm. Also, how does that make sense? How is Bruce Wayne Tinder swindling anybody? How did he swindle them?
He got in his mansion.
He's got billions of dollars. What does he need to swindle anybody using Tinder out of their money?
I don't know. He just likes the power.
Yeah, that's an incredible stretch. But that's Adrian for you, folks.
A stretch? You think I'm a stretch, Simon?
A little bit.
Yeah, that's fair.
Goodbye.
Take care. Goodbye.